Hi everyone, this is audap. Let's continue our game of Planescape Torment Enhanced Edition on Nintendo Switch.
I feel stronger.
The man's eyes go wide and the blood drains from his face. Powers above and below! They said he'd come back, but I didn't realize. But I didn't believe them. He suddenly turns to flee. Try and grab him. The woman raises her eyebrows as you approach her. I keep to myself, Burke. It looks like ye ought to be doing the same. Keep out of trouble for a bit, eh? Fare ye well.
Done.
This man looks haunted. His eyes are half-lidded, as if he had trouble sleeping, and his hair is long and unkempt. His beard is speckled with bits of dead skin and old bits of food. He doesn't seem to notice you as you approach. I'll leave the man. How about you? This woman looks to be in her middle years, and her hair has streaks of gray running through it. Lines of worry crisscross her face. As she sees you, she seems torn between asking you to leave and calling for the man at the table. Greetings. Yes, ye'd best leave, for I call me husband. He won't take kindly to ye having barged your way into our home. Call your husband, and you both die. Now answer my questions. Calm down, I just had some questions. She glances towards her husband, worry in her eyes. I have not the time, stranger. Do not be troubling me with such things. Excuse me, are you all right? Me? She seems surprised. Oh, aye. She lowers her voice. You'd best leave. Me and my husband have not been himself of late. You'd best not provoke him with your presence. What's wrong with him? He's been out of sorts of late. A touch of the cough, maybe. She gives an unconvincing half shrug. What's really wrong with him? I think he's done something he regrets. Her worried expression melts into despair. I think he signed one of the dead contracts. I cannot imagine what possessed him to do such a thing. Dead contracts? The dead, the dustmen, have contracts that give them the right to somebody's body after they die. What do the dustmen do with the body after death? Animate it with their black magics and turn it into one of them walking dead and make it a worker till... She looks at her husband helplessly. Till it rots away. Why did your husband sign such a thing? He may have been a goat eager to bring home some more jink than custom. He's prideful, but I think he's hurt himself more by doing so. Sounds like you have your own troubles. Very well.
Looks like the Dusty's lost one of their deaders. Hike off.
You see a striking red-haired girl dressed in leather armor. Her right arm is covered with a series of interlocking plates that look as if they were taken from the skin of some creature, and a horn shoulder piece protects her left arm. Oddly enough, she has a tail that is flicking back and forth as you watch. Hike off! Greetings. The girl ignores you. I'm looking for someone named Farah. Do you know where I can find him? Aye, I might say more if you sweeten the question, aye. She clicks her tongue and rubs her two fingers together. Jink jink, aye? Jink jink. She means money. Oh. Aye, she glares. She stares at Morte, then shrugs. What the skull said. Hard coin. Alright, how much? How much is it? How much is it to you? How much is it to you to know, aye? She studies you, then folds her arms. Come on, I haven't gotten all day. I haven't. About 10 enough? That lump of copper ain't enough to whet the fetid's appetite. You've been eating more if you want to make friends here, Todd. 20 then? Aye, alright then. She pockets the money. It's gone so quickly you have no idea where it vanished to. Look for him in the alley spiraled from the mortuary. That's to the south and to the west of the mortuary. Aye. South and west of the mortuary. Thanks. Farewell.
Looks like the Dusty's lost one of their deaders.
Could talk to the harlot. It's Harlot City. You can purchase the services of the harlots too, but you know, the screen just fades to black. Nothing fancy. Yeah, you know, it's not like one of the games I'd play on Pornhub or something. You see a haggard woman wrapped in rags. Her hair is disheveled and dirty, and her complexion is extremely dark. Burdens cover her arms, and her right hand is a fused lump of flesh. It looks melted, like wax exposed to a great heat. Greetings.
Updated my journal.
What is it you want of me? The woman's accent is thick, and you are having difficulty making out what she is saying. You want me to leave? Not leaving this city, so I'm not. I can't. Tired. It's not a city. It's a prison everywhere. Everywhere? There's worlds. There's... Her eyes gleam madly. Plains to be sinking sands. Fields thirsty melody. Sightless worlds where your limbs are given life and hate. Cities of dust whose people are dust and worshipping and whisper ash. The house without doors. The twilit lands. The singing winds. The singing winds. She starts to sob silently. She seems all out of tears. And shadows. The terrible shadows there be. Where are these places? Where is it? Where's in places? She flings the lump of her right hand in an arc, gesturing at the cityscape. They's all here be. Doors, here to everywhere. Doors? You're not knowing this? She squints at you and her teeth start chattering. Tell you, I will. Beware every space you walk through or touch in this thrice-cursed city. Doors, gates, arches, windows, picture frames, the open mouth of a statue, the spaces between shelves. Beware any space bound on all sides. All these are doors to other places. What do you mean? Every door has a key, it does, and with this key they show their true nature. An arch becomes a portal, a picture frame becomes a portal, a window becomes a portal, all eager to take you someplace else. So they steal you away. She raises the lump of her right hand. And sometimes, what's on the other side takes part of you as a tith. What are these keys? The keys number as many as the doors of the city. Every door a key, every key a door. Her teeth start chattering again, as if she is cold. And a key is? A key is anything. It may be an emotion, an iron nail held between your second and fifth fingers. A thought. A thought 3 times. A thought once in reverse, or maybe a glass rose. Are these all keys that open these doors?
Updated my journal.
Yes. Her teeth start chattering, and she clenches her mouth closed and squints her eyes. Yes. Can't leave. Can't leave. How'd you get here?
Updated my journal.
From? She seems to calm slightly, and her eyes take on a 1,000-league stare. Come from a place else from here, almost a life ago. Hummed a tune by a glade with 2 dead trees that had fallen together. A brilliant door opened in the space between the crossed trees, showed me the city on the other side. I stepped through. Ended here. Why can't you go back? Tried. She tries to sob again, but no tears come. Tried. All doors led to other places. She shudders and grips her melted right hand. Went through thrice 10 portals. Some on purpose, some an accident. None of them right. Can't find the way back. There must be a portal that can take you back. Can't even leave here. This square. And there, the place of death behind the gates waits for me. She points at the mortuary behind the gate, then turns back to you, her face desperate. Can't go anywhere in the city. Can't go anywhere? What do you mean? Anything could be a door. Anything could be a door. An arch there, a door here, could be a portal, don't know the key. Could get us sent to another horrible place. Her teeth start chattering again. Got to stay away from the closed spaces. All could be doors. Could have a key on me, and I not knowing it. You're afraid to go through any door or arch because it might be a portal? She nods, her teeth chattering. How long have you been afraid of this? She squints. Since the last time I walked through the last portal, the place where my hand... She stops. since my 10th turning. I'm in my 10th turning that now. Her teeth began chattering again. 30 years? You haven't walked through any door for 30 years? Her vision seems to clear slightly. She looks up at you, her teeth still chattering. If you got here, there must be a portal that can take you back. It's only a matter of finding it. She smiles. Her teeth aren't chattering because she is cold. They are moving around inside her mouth. Her gums twisting as the teeth shift about. They rise and recede as you watch, chattering as they rattle against each other. What? She hisses at you. Only takes one portal you step through accident to drive the fear into you. I went through thrice 10. Lost my hand, burned them flesh, and lost my sense. She looks at her feet. No more, no more. I'm sorry. If I can find some means to help you, I will. Farewell.
Updated my journal.
See, Quentin. Man before you looks to be a middle of height and years. He is stout with a thick, bullish neck, and his shoulders are hunched as if a great weight was pressed upon them. He wears an impatient look as he stares at the black monolith in front of him. Greetings. The man throws you a glance. There's room, Kata. No need to ask me to leave to stand here. Actually, I want to know about what this monolith was. It's a tombstone for the plains, he scoffs. Graveyards of names are scratched on that rock. Can only hope my name's the one that'll split this stone in twain. He points at the base of the monolith. Quentin. Right there, hammered in just hard enough to send the damn thing crashing down. Tombstone for the plains? Aye, Quentin smiles ruefully. The Dusties scratch the names of the dead on this monument here. He gestures around him. And on the walls of this place. Not enough space by my reckoning, but no matter. They do their best. Can barely read half the names. What are you doing here? Reading the new arrivals. Try and find a new one every day, trying to remember if I knew them. Nothing more. The dustmen record the names of all that have died on this monument? Aye, they scratch them on this rock, and scratch them on the walls in this place too. Quentin scoffs. I don't know why they take the trouble to take account of the dead. The Dusties have more care for the living. The living? Aye, you know the dustmen mourners that come to this place. They aren't mourning the dead, see? They're mourning the living. You can barely get a word in them edgewise without asking to mourn some poor living burk for ye. Why do they mourn the living? You got me there, Cutter, he shrugs. Might want to put the question to them. Seems to me the dead are thrice worth the pity of any poor sod living in this pit. He nods at the monument. Every name on there is blessed in my book, it is. Let's see, ever know anybody who came back from their name being put on there? I see, thanks. Yeah. Ever know anybody who came back after the name was put on there? You mean come back from death? Quentin shakes his head. Not a one, Cutter. Everything that lives dies, and that's the way of things. He shrugs. Still, considering the planes go on forever and all, I suppose anything's possible. I suppose so. Say, I had some other questions? I see, thanks. Sevdal. The woman's face looks broken, and she is covered in scars. They look like bite marks and fingernail cuts. She is cradling the shreds of several rags in her hands and is staring emptily at the wall of the monument, at the names there. Greetings. Get you back. The woman's teeth peel back, displaying a row of black canines. What you want, Seftai? What's the matter? What's wrong? Those chaos men wrecked my cart, attacked me, and killed 3 of my sisters who tried to stop them. Not sisters anymore. Now there's nothing but names on a memorial wall. Chaos men? Chaos men. A faction, they says. What they are is an addle bunch that runs wild through the hive and does whatever they please. We never did no harm to them. Then they lope in like dogs and tear apart anything within their reach. Who are these chaos men that attacked you? They're a hiver gang, a bunch of adult sods that call themselves the Starved Dogs Barking or some such barmy nonsense. You know, I wouldn't mind penning some men in the Deathbook for some coin. You've got the copper, we talk terms. A copper earring in your purse if you pen 3 of those murdering sods in the Deadbook, Jig. I'll see to it to put in the checkbook. Can you tell me where they might be found? Go to the south gate, spireward from here, then walk around the block until you comes to a place where men run in circles, howling at the big sky. There's the starved dogs. They are. I'll look for them then.
Updated my journal.
Death of names. You see a dustman with a crooked smile frozen on his face. Despite the smile, his eyes are as dull as stones. His right arm is shorter than the left, and he keeps it tucked to his side, as if cradling a small child. Yeah, I don't want to talk to you at all.
Damn.
Did you see that?
I'm gone.
Ooh, really? Okay. You again. The woman turns to face you, her lips peeling back in a snarl. You have news for Seftal? No good news yet.
Maybe I can get a dusty. I've never seen something so ugly. Oh, Sigil Dale.
Chief, what are we doing in here? Let's say we just give this place the laugh, all right?
Before you was a tall, silent figure. He could easily pass for a statue, although the deep furrows in his face and brow make you wonder if the sculptor was a little too eager in defining the face with the chisel. He looks well over 50 years old. Exactly how much over 50 it's hard to tell. As he slowly turns to look at you, you catch the dull sheen of copper in his eyes. Greetings. Old Copper Eye stares at you. His eyes are difficult to make out past the black well of his eye sockets, but they look to have a copper sheen about them. That's questions. Copper Eye says nothing. Never mind fairly well. Fairly well. Mortai Gravesend. This tiny, wizened man is dwarfed by his huge dustman robes. They look as if they were chosen to cloak his small stature. Although he looks to be in his late 90s, this man is extremely energetic. He fidgets continuously. His eyes dart around like a bar, around the bar like a bird. Greetings. The man's eyes gleam as he takes your measure, and he gives a slight nod in greeting. Hail and well met, traveler. You look like one who is just getting their sigil legs about them. He trails off. Pardon me, have we met before? Your face seems familiar somehow. No, at least I don't recall you. Maybe I was mistaken. Mortai shakes his head. Well, no matter. How is it that Mortai Gravesend may help you? Do you seek? He clucks his tongue as he speaks. The contract, perhaps? The contract? The contract? Why, it is but a simple transaction. From the depths of his huge robe, Mortai pulls forth a dusty parchment and a cool pen. I give you 50 commons. In return, after death, the Dustman faction may claim your remains. He smiles and clicks his tongue. What use will you have for them at that point anyway? I don't think I can help you. Yeah, sorry. Fairly well. But I can help you, I can, Mordecai calls out as you leave, his voice pleading. Return should you be in need of funds, and Mordecai can help, all in exchange for your signature. You see a spindle-thin man in dirty black robes. His stiff black hair springs forth from his skull like a crown of spikes, and his leper white skin is drawn sharply across his skull. He is frowning into his drink and mumbling to himself. Greetings. The dustman looks up, blinks once, then looks up at you and down, studying you. As he studies you, he takes one of his spike blocks and points at himself with it. Norochi, initiate, dustman god. Never mind. You got nothing to say. Greetings, stranger. Looks like you're in Dark Alley Shift territory. Looks like you've got a purse that could use some lightning. You better pray it's got enough. I'd like to see you try taking it with holes in your skin.
I'm gone.
Rusty dagger, dirty rat charm. Nothing I care about.
Damn it! Did you see that?
Let's see, banishes, huh? Let's see, roll banishes useful for stanching minor wounds. This is all that remains of a sedan chair. There is still some bloodstains on it. This is a very delicate looking structure, ready to fall over with the first strong wind that comes this way.
Damn it! Damn it!
Die. I'm hurt.
Yeah, what, really?
Slow Sigil did us.
Come on, Cutter. Let's have a look at her. She'll do anything for you.
Come on, Cutter, come on in here. You want to sleep outside? It's cold out here. Come on inside. We got a warm bed.
Here you go, Cutter. She's all yours.
Hey, you! Hey, Cutter, come on inside and get warm. We're going to get a nice bed.
Rest.
She'll do anything for
He's
you.
dead. Or, less alive? I don't know. Mr. Barmore. Let's see, I need to find Farad. You see a short balding man standing in what serves as the foyer to this ramshackle flophouse. His bushy brows are furrowed in concentration as he picks at what appears to be scabs on his large, bulbous nose. Greetings. The man doesn't bother to look up. Instead, he continues to stare cross-eyed down at his nose. Yeah, what do you want? Get a rest here? Sure you can, Burke, if you got the jink for it. Nobody puts up for free, except old Nestor over there, and that's only 'cause no one's addle-covered enough to mess with him. Very well, how much for a bed? It'll cost you 5 coppers. He wipes his dirty hands on the front of his even dirtier shirt, then thrusts it towards you, palms up. Give him 5 coppers, yeah, sure. Mm-hmm. $8, really? Fuck. And of course it's the middle of the night. He's like, ah, you ain't going nowhere, buddy.
I'm gone.
Here you go, Cutter. She's all yours.
Your first impression of Mar is that he needs a long bath, preferably away from any creature that has any sense of smell. You can almost see the stench waft from his body in sinister yellow tendrils. He motions towards you frantically in an effort to get you to come over and talk to him. Reports this person's here, what does he have to say? Ah, a look of excitement crosses his face as you approach. Thank ye for stopping. Me name is Mar, and I have a favor to ask ye. Listening. Tis a matter of life and death. I must deliver this here box, or it'll be me head for sure. Tis me bad luck that I twisted me leg something fierce. Will you help me out by delivering this here box for me? No.
Come on, you don't want to sleep out here. It's cold. Come on inside where it's
Here you
warm.
go, Cutter. She's all yours.
Vines with black leaves. The stems look extremely sharp.
Right.
Collectors everywhere. Marrow fiend. What? Who? Greetings. I really don't have to talk with you. You see, I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to complete my spell without the key components. Maybe I can help. Jerem pauses for a second. I guess it couldn't hurt. I'm in need of a ruby to complete my spell. It must be of exceptional quality, not like the junk they sell at the marketplace. If you should find one, bring it back to me, and I shall make it worth your while. Very well.
Updated my journal.
The underbelly of this platform is thick with razor vine. It looks like it's holding the platform together. This archway leads to only inches to the small building before it becomes blocked by solid walls of refuse. The rubbish is packed so tightly it may as well be stones and mortar.
Updated my journal.
Hold up, Chief. Look at this. Peering down, you notice a number of dirty footprints that lead into the archway, and do not turn around. There must be a portal through here or something. A portal? How do we open it? Haven't the slightest, Chief. It's got to be a common key, though. Look at all the traffic that's gone through. Maybe one of the lowlifes around here will know. I'll ask around. Let's go. The sagging platform looks as if it's about to collapse. As you approach the hooded brown-robed man, you notice that he's mumbling to himself softly and occasionally nodding. Greetings. Someone comes to speak Tanade. He suddenly breaks into a fit of hacking coughs and nods to himself. What are you doing? Nothing, except looking for debtors, nothing else. He sniffs and gives another hacking cough. He mumbles for a moment, then speaks again. Nothing else. Need the jink. Jink. Why are you looking for corpses? He starts nodding without really looking at you. Haul him into the black place, the mortuary. He tilts his head back and forth and then nods again. There, the dusties. They haggles and gives jink. They takes the debtors and they do, and nod don't talks to him till the next body. He sniffs, wiping at his nose with the back of his hand. I have some questions. He nods. What? He sniffs, then squints at you. Jink. He taps his head and points at you, then points at his hand. You want to know something? Jink. Aye, jink. And I don't know, a couple coins. Jink for nod. Jink. He mumbles for a moment, hiding the copper coins away in the folds of his robes. Ask. Nod tries to answer yea. He coughs for a bit, spitting something off to the side. Do you know of a man named Farad? He looks frightened and starts to shake his head. Farad? Farad. He scratches his head. What about him? He frowns, then shakes his head as if he's not sure he should be speaking to you. Do you know where I can find him? He shakes his head, then mumbles. He glances quickly at you, then begins to murmur again to himself. It sounds like he's uttering a prayer against evil. Not here. In square. He frowns as if unsure how to explain it. But not in the square. He shakes his head again, then coughs. Tell him about the area. He points to the ground, nodding. The square. Rag picker square. Trash everywhere, eh? Sharegrave square. He mumbles to himself for a moment. Tell me about Sharegrave. Sharegrave's shadow long falls over Nod. It does, eh? Nod gives him and his jink to Sharegrave. Sharegrave tells others and his shadow. Watch out for Nod, eh? He sniffs, nodding slowly. I'm looking for a journal I've lost. No. He shakes his head vigorously. No journal. He sniffs, wiping his nose with his sleeve. Okay, you don't know anything. He shakes his head, coughs, then resumes nodding. You'd ask Nod, eh? You asked Nod. Question for ye. Go ahead, ask your question. Nod has a sister, eh? Amaris. Lives in the hive, away from here, away from the square. So long ago, Nod was separated from his sister, taken away. So your question is?
Updated my journal.
You don't know her? He shakes his head sadly for a moment, chewing his lower lip. If you sees her, if he does, tell her Nod, her brother, worries about her. Aye, he does. He worries. Why don't you go find her? No. Nod covers his head with his arms, mumbling to himself. Nod can't speak rights no more. He can't. Nay, and he smells the corpses and all the dirt in the square. Ragpicker square. No. The outburst sends him into a fit of hacking coughs. What happened to you, Nod? Nod sniffs, looking at the ground quietly. Finally, he begins nodding to himself, speaking softly. Nod was young, eh? He was, and started hearing voices, telling Nod to do this, do that. Bad things, bad, like chewing on Nod's fingers. He holds his hands to his face, and you can see old bite scars beneath the caked-down filth. Go on. So, Nod's parents takes him away, as he does, puts him in a dark place, a winged tower, where they pokes needles and hooks in Nod's head. Voices stop, eh? They do, but Nod can't think right. Can't talk right. Nod escapes the place. He does. Walks up in the hive, eh? Where's this winged tower? Dunno. Bad place, bad. He shakes his head violently, clutching at his temples before resuming his usual nodding. Go on with your story. Nod wakes up. There's collectors, eh? Collectors poking at Nod, saying, look, not a dealer, not a debtor. Debtor, he's not. Takes him back, takes him. And they take Nod back, they does, back to the square. So long years ago. Alright, I'll find your sister for you. Nod thanks ye, he does. Nod thanks ye. Amaris was pretty, so pretty. Lives in the hive now. Fair skin she was. Fair like jet and always in blue. Blue. She was always in blue. Very well, Nod.
Updated my journal.
The chop.
Damn.
Yes, I'm out of here. Jeez. Yellowfingers, the weaselly-looking fellow, is skulking about the garbage like a tattered shadow. Seeing you and Morty, he beckons to you. Say, skull. Where'd you get the skull, eh? The skull it is. Give it back to me. Continue. Morty turns to the hiver. Pike off. You're not getting the skull. This is not your skull. Truth, go on. Take the skull. Attack him as soon as he's off guard. Go on. Take the skull. Truth. If you can prove to me the skull's yours, then I'll give it to you. It's only fair. All the choices. Who are you? The skull's mine. Mine, eh? Give it to me. I'll forget you stole it, he mumbles, narrowing his eyes. This is not your skull. You call me a liar, eh? Skull's mine. Mine! He mumbles for a moment, eyes rolling and darting. Yeah, the thief, spitting lies. I'll get ye. Touch me and you'll regret it in the short few moments before you die. I wouldn't try it. The man glances at you, eyes narrow. He doesn't look too sure of his chances. He mumbles a bit, but doesn't do anything. Me skull, you're a thief. A thief stealing. What proof do you have that this is your skull? He stares at you for a moment, like you're addled. It's packing mine, talking proof. Don't you? Don't know nothing. He gives me the skull back nows. Forget you ever saw it farewell. Yeah. Another crazy bastard. City's full of them. This man is whistling a cheerful tune and playing with a well-kept fighting knife. As you approach him, he stops whistling and gives you a curious look. What you want? Ask some questions. My name's Ratbone Cutter. I'm a thief for hire in the employ of Sharegrave, the boss of the collectors you see around the square. He pays me mostly to earn his lads to be real quiet-like, and how to fight if they runs into a tight spot of trouble. That's likely the only question I'll answer for you, Cutter. He sniffs and shrugs. Thief for hire, could you train me? Do you know how to get through the trash pack archway northwest of here?
Updated my journal.
Aye, nah, I don't. Say, you could ask Creedon, the rat catcher. Sometimes he goes poking about there up and disappears for an odd while. Creedon's usually in the hive right outside the Office of Vermin Disease Control. Office of... where's that? Ratbone frowns at you. Back in the hive, Cutter. Find a tout if you need to. Looking for a name named Fair. Do you know where he is? Ratbone shakes his head. Nay, I don't. He's nearby, though. Some of his lads come running through at times, making for some hidey hole that's who knows where. Somewhere up round those elevated platforms, I'll bet, but it's none of my business. But it's none of me business. He shrugs and spits to the ground. Living it lives, says Ratbone. Very well, then.
Done. I'm gone.
Junk. Unlike other collectors you've seen, the robes on this one seem to be of fine quality. Ah, another debtor has come to visit us. Please excuse the mess. My colleagues haven't had any time to tidy up. There's no way out. Why, sure there is. The door's right over there. But you need one of these to activate the portal. He holds up what appears to be a small glass bead. Come, let's talk price. I'm listening. Simple. You pay my comrades and me 100 coppers. I give you the key to the portal. What if I don't pay? Then my friends and I will just have to sell your body to the dustman. Either way, we get paid. Yeah, I'll kill everyone.
I'm hurt.
Another trip to the mortuary. I'm sick of dragging your corpse back here with my teeth.
of the bound tome lists diagrams and charts detailing several minor wars and enchantments. There are numerous drawings of skeleton bones and the manner in which they may be preserved over time. Of particular interest is the section regarding guardians. Apparently, the dustmen animate corpses of fallen giants. So, okay. That's right. I just kept it just for the heck of it. Alright, why don't we stop it there? This is audap. You've been watching Planescape Torment Enhanced Edition on Nintendo Switch. Yeah, that wasn't part of the best play. The city's big, obviously. In fact, I don't know if it takes place anything... I don't know if this game takes place even outside the city. At least I don't remember it going outside the city. But then again, I think it got stuck somewhere during the halfway point of the game. Anyway, it's a game well worth playing if you like more storytelling than you do of the combat and the character building. There's some of that, of course, still too, but it's not as focused as it is.
Watch, Chief.
On
just look natural, casual.
It's not as focused as it is on the other titles in the recently released enhanced editions for consoles. So if you're okay with that, then I think you'll have a good time. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed watching. I will see you at the next stream.